Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is actually a request for John, the Zero Cool, very nice guy on here, good friend. And he sent a request via PayPal. If anyone wants requests for reviews, re-reviews, topics, reactions, what have you, I'll try to get to it as soon as possible as I can. Send in the request either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, this is for the TV pilot for Highlander, and the episode is called The Gathering. Now, I knew of the TV show. I think here and there I caught it, but I didn't really follow it. And even though this wasn't a bad pilot, I still not going to follow the show because it don't sound strange, but it's just how I look at it. Highlander, typically, all you needed was one movie. And as the story goes for the plot, the guidelines, one movie is all you should have. I mean, the whole point of the movie, the whole point of the topic is there can be only one. And by the end of the first movie, there is only one. And he gets the prize, where he's mortal and he can live a life with this lady. Now, I actually do like Highlander 2, and they actually try to explain, as clunky as it is, they actually try to explain why there's more than one when there was only one, and yeah, it's clunky, but I still had fun with Highlander 2. I did. I rather enjoy Highlander 2. Because I enjoyed the futuristic setting, I enjoyed this music, I enjoyed the the craziness, like the two characters getting shot 18,000 times. Michael Ironside was fun. I mean, again, it's not a popular opinion, but I did enjoy it. And actually, I think I reviewed all the Highlander films on the channel. Because I like the first two. The third one is there. The fourth one, Endgame, I hate. The Source is a fucking abysmal abomination. So compared to Highlander Endgame and The Source, this pilot is a pretty breath of fresh air. But it's just that topic where it's like, okay, this is obviously related to whatever continuity the movie, whichever one you want to pick, because Highlander 3, there could be only one, but there was these people hidden in a fucking cave. And then, like, Highlander 2, well, we're going to ignore that, I guess. So I guess Highlander 3 is a sequel to Highlander 1, so there's only one, but then there's people hidden in a cave, but, so there would not, I even tried to explain that in Highlander 3 review, and I still can't. How many fucking times are we going to have there could be only one, but then there's never only one? There's always people that fucking pops up. There could be only one, but then 50 people pop up. There could be only one, and then there's one, and then, like, even at the end of Highlander 3, there's only one. But now, fucking 2,000 people have popped up within the show. So I'm like, even if it's continuity with the first one, at the end of the first movie, there's a gathering. There's only one. Apparently not, because he's known part of his clan, Duncan, Adrian Paul, for hundreds of years. So where the fuck was Adrian Paul in the first movie? Would the gathering just tricked easily? The power? Well, I thought there was only one, so I gave you the power. Whoops, I guess my mistake. So is even the first movie in continuity with this? Because at the end of the first movie, there was only one left. And that's why you got the power and the gift of being mortal. But now that's not the case anymore. So this isn't even really in continuity with the first movie. So, like, see, that's the shit that bugs. It should not bother. It doesn't bother anybody else. I know. I mean, hell, I like Friday the 13th films. Do you think they work with continuity? Every movie's 5 years later. So by the time you get to Friday the 13th Part 4, what, it's like the year 1990 with every fucking 5 years? Actually, more past that. Like, we're getting the 2000s by the time we get to Friday the 13th Part 4. If it's every 5 years or so. Or at least maybe 95. Anyway, I know, but just... Again, it's one of those things that just always bothered the fuck out of me. But getting to the actual pilot, I will say, number one, it was cool to see Christopher Lambert, or as some people pronounce it, Christophe Lambert. I liked him. I liked him as an actor. Whether it be Fortress, whether it be the first two Highlander films, even Highlander 3, he was fine in. Resurrection, that's a really good one. It's kind of like the movie Seven. I reviewed one, Night Moves. Not too bad of a movie. I reviewed that a month or so ago. Anyway, I liked him. So it was nice to see him in here, passing the baton. And I thought they did the character justice, unlike Endgame, where it's just, I'm here and then I'm dead. Because Adrian Paul, you do the shit. They didn't do that with this. And honestly, this should have been the last time Lambert did anything with Highlander. It really should have. Not Endgame, which was a piece of shit. But Adrian Paul is Duncan MacLeod. He's going to be the star of the show. He was part of the clan that I heard of in the movies, but gotta make it up for the show. And they both had the last name MacLeod. He's part of the clan. It's like, hey, I found him and helped him realize he's an immortal. Obviously, the budget is a bit simpler compared to the movies because it is a TV show. Actually, it begins with a guy breaking into an antique shop while Duncan and this girl are fucking, and then he's ready to cut the guy's head off. He's like, well, okay, fine, I'll give the shit back. And then Richard Mall, yes, from Night Court, many other things. Richard Mall is the bad guy in this episode. And he puts on this like steel mask with like steel wire where the mouth is. And interesting to see Richard Mall there. But then Christopher Lambert appears as Connor. So Richard Mall leaves. And again, when you look at the movie Highlander, The Gathering, it was clearly indicated that it was the final event of an immortal's existence. And the last man standing would take the prize. Now apparently there's a shitload of gatherings. Can't help it, that bugs the fuck out of me. I can't help it. That's why I didn't bother with the show. And Adrian Paul is fine. I prefer Christopher Lambert though. But Adrian Paul's not bad. I've never been huge on Adrian Paul. I see him in a couple movies. But again, he's one of those guys like, he's fine, but not a guy I care to follow through a whole TV show. I don't know if that makes sense, but he's fine. The girl that plays the girlfriend, I don't think she's that good of an actress with her thick accent, and I just wasn't big on her. I thought, especially when she gets mad at Adrian Paul, and I thought that's really where the bad acting showcased. I don't know if she went far on the TV show, but I didn't think she was that good. From time to time you get flashbacks, showcase a bit of Duncan's history and how an event happened where he wanted to be away for a while from the game. And even Christopher Lambert says, well, it's not going to last forever. So yeah, well, at least maybe it'll last for a while. You know, the battle between good and evil can do without me for a while. And Richard Mall, for some reason, he'll grab the Duncan's girl, tie her up, and Adrian Paul gets there, but then Richard Mall just leaves. I'm like, well, what was the point of you doing all this? What was the point of you coming in to tie up his girl, and then when Adrian Paul gets there, then you just fucking leave? I guess just to be an asshole. I guess that's the only reason, is that I'm an asshole. And again, this girl's acting, you damn your gathering, damn your whole race. Now I know it sounds like I'm ranting a lot, because I am. But as a pilot, it's not bad in the fact that at least number one, you got Queen on the soundtrack, which was nice. I don't know if throughout the episodes you heard a lot of Queen music, but at least for the pilot, you heard Princes of the Universe, you heard Who Wants to Live Forever. That really helps with the tone, with the feel of it. That was a really nice little surprise. Yeah, Queen for the title music. I know that carried over with the show, but also throughout the episode. In sweet moments, you have Who Wants to Live Forever, mainly the instrumental version, which is a very nice piece of music. When Lambert and Adrian Paul, when they're training with swords, you got the Princes of the Universe. That's cool. I always give credit to Christopher Lambert because people don't realize Lambert has bad eyesight. I believe even if he had glasses or contacts, he has bad eyesight. I forget the affliction he has. So think about, throughout all the movies that he's doing with swords, he's doing it with horrible eyesight. Even with contacts, it's horrible eyesight. So imagine all the choreography he has to do, but you can barely see shit. Like, again, if people don't know, look it up. Christopher Lambert technically is almost blind throughout most of his... I forget what the affliction is called. Well, let me look it up real quick. But again, that always surprised me. And I commend the guy being able to still work and do these specific choreography of these sword sequences, these sword fights, including this episode. Profound myopia, and he cannot see without his glasses. But I remember reading somewhere that he has such bad eyesight that even contact lenses won't correct it. So with contact lenses he can see, it's just not that well. Now, I don't know if he just had bad eyesight and then as the years went on it went even worse than that, but again, that also kind of explains why a lot of times he looks with a squinty eye. Because if you have bad eyesight like that, there are times you don't want your eyes to do like this because it's going to make your eye... Believe me, I know... I mean, I can see with my glasses, but if I take them off and have my eyes open, it feels a bit better if I do it like this. And a lot of times you see Lambert with that kind of look. So it makes more sense in retrospect. So I definitely give credit to that. So yeah, I mean, it was nice to see Christopher Lambert. Adrian Paul is fine. It was fun to see Richard Mall, which he's either known for comedies or playing the villain, because he was the villain in horror film House, and God, what was that one movie? That's on the tip of my tongue. It's one where the guy's trying to rescue his girl. He's going through all these different dimensions to do it. I don't remember right when this fucking video ends. Damn it. The Dungeon Master. I think it was The Dungeon Master. But anyway. And you know, as a pilot, it's only 40-some minutes long. Sword fight scenes are not too bad for a TV show. You know, Lambert and Richard Mall fight, and then Richard Mall has his secret weapon on the butt of his sword that hits him, and Lambert falls off the bridge. He survives, of course, but he, cheap shot. Then Adrian Paul fights him. Of course, because you can't actually show the sword cutting off the head, so it's done by this weird editing. And then the quickening, where you get the power, like I said, because it's a TV show. Back then, in movies, you show the entire building explode. Here, we have one car, so I have the hubcaps, and a little piece of the car blow up. It just really showed the difference between movie budget and TV budget. Like, at the end of the day, I thought this was a decent way to pass the baton. Like, Christopher Lambert tips his hat, not literally, but figuratively speaking. Here you go. You go on to do the show. And part of me was like, did you need a Highlander TV show? But it was very successful, lasted quite a few seasons. A lot of fans of it. I'm just one of those guys that, again, kind of lose interest when it's not Christopher Lambert. And, again, Adrian Paul is fine, but I just prefer Lambert. And, like I said, I'm one of those guys that think you technically only needed one movie. You didn't need this whole thing where there will be only one, then it's one, then there's 50 more, then there's one, then there's 80 more, and it just, like I said, always bugged the fuck out of me. But, like I said, for a pilot, again, the budget didn't be shown as low. Dr. McLeod's girlfriend was annoying. The one guy who broke in, and you could tell him and Adrian Paul don't become friends later on, which happened. The character Richie, he was whatever. Yeah, it was what it was. I mean, it was fine, but again, it doesn't make me want to seek out the rest of the show. At least that's just me. But not bad. Queen music was definitely a big plus. Sword fighting, again, not too bad choreography for a TV show. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.